The first thing I like to do when I go into the WELS program is set the room dimensions. If you have any specs or drawings or anything for the project, that's where you would get the room dimensions. You can also use a CAD file. So if you go into the right toolbar here and you click on a room, this brings you the top view. In order to set the dimensions, Snap tool can be changed to anything. I usually change it to 1 so I can get within a 0.1 inch of the actual room. Then the green boxes. Here's how you're going to move the wall to increase or decrease the wall size. You can also add other ones. If you click anywhere on a black line, this is very helpful. For example, they have a hallway. Some people have hallways. Some people have entryways. And this just gives you the ability to show that we can take a room and make it almost any shape that you want. And if you add these anywhere throughout the entire frame, if you right click and you can get rid of them, the rule of thumb with WELS here is to right click and you'll be able to get rid of it. Like this, just right click and you'll be able to get rid of it. If you go up to the top, design mode, this is where you're going to go back to the main screen here. If you right click on your mouse, this is going to allow you to rotate the room and get different angles, different views. You can also use your keyboard to be able to do this. You can also go up to the top right here, and these arrow buttons allow you to go from the left to the right, down to the bottom. You can zoom in, zoom out like this, which you can do with your mouse. The next thing I want to go over is all of our product lines over here. Each one you can click on its own list and its own assortment of options to include with the console. For example, we'll just throw one together, an inside console here, so you can put together a couple of these. You can actually add corners even after you've already started designing. So you can just place them in the center and it will throw them in there for you. You can also do this without doing that. So you can add it at any piece at the end like this. You can right click and right click again and it'll get rid of them and it deletes some. So then when you're in here, you also have the option to pick monitors, different kind of doors, different sides. We also have accessories that we can include. So let's just go in here and throw a couple of monitors on the console. Sizes are pretty accurate to show exactly how they're going to fit on the console. It's always a good idea to get official drawings or specs for the monitors just in case, but it's not a necessity. Then we can go back over to the toolbar over here, and if you hit move, this allows you to grab the console, right click on the rotating, and it just rotates, around the room. You can also, go over to the toolbar and hit copy. If you hit copy, click on what you want to copy, then it'll place it right here, right next to it. You can also undo. There's up to 5 undos. If you go to the surface, this is where you'll select what kind of surface there is on there. You can choose from laminate, comfort, edge, endurance. And with that, you can also choose colors, so you can change the color of the work surface like this, show different styles to your customers. You can also do this with the side panels. You can do laminate, you can do true form, and this gives you the opportunity to add colors as well. Another way to do this is to go into the design mode, right click on the work surface. In every option here, you have a work surface. You can go ahead and place a new one on there. So there are 2 different ways that you can change the surface. You could also go to images. You can go to images over here, and this changes the images of the monitors. We have a bunch of presets here from security views one of our drawings all the way to newscasters. You can customize. There are a couple in here. You can also add a company logo or a photo if you want to include it. You can add that in here and have it shown on all of these monitors. Continuing on with the toolbar over here, if you click on labels, this gives you the opportunity to make notes on the console. If there's anything special or anything different, for example, if you click on the work surface here, it brings up the little box. You can move it all over the place. And then if you double click on the little toolbox, it will bring up this box here. And you can write in some notes. For example, you could write this, and then you hit exit. And then you can click on the other option. It disappears, but it's always there to pull up. This is a good option if you're sending the WELS file itself. You can add all of these notes that will be seen by whoever opens the WELS file. Next is measure. So we do often have people questioning certain distances from one place to the other on the consoles. This is an easy way to kind of figure that out. For example, hit measure, then start from one side of the console and drag it over to the other corner like this. And then down here, it's going to give you the dimensions of that line. Go back to design and it goes away. And then typically, this down here shows the dimensions of the red square around the console. So from here to here shows you the depth is, and then from here to here shows you the width. It shows you a general idea of what the size of the console is. Another thing I want to go over in the move option, you can actually open and close all the doors front and back. This gives you the option to show if you have any shelving or rack rails or anything on the inside. You also have the option for doors if you're in the design mode. Again, right click, deletes if you delete the doors. Got two parts categories into the doors. We have one with file folder bins, one for CPU. You can switch to true form instead of the steel. And then you can go into the move and show them that as well, just so that they can see what's in there if you need to show them. A few other option accessories that we could have would be the rack rails, as I mentioned, which go into the base if you were to delete the doors. There's also your rack cabinet that we can attach in there as well for some extra depth. Some people have to mount things that won't fit into the Insight. You can right click, click, we'll delete the doors back. What we do have is electrical options. You can also add outlets or electrical mounting brackets as well. Another option we have for our consoles is different types of Peninsulas. These add storage areas and just extra room in general. We also have radial ones that can go on the sides. These you have to erase the inside panels first. So if you right click on the side panel, you can go ahead and select the radial and it pops right on there and it auto generates to fit and includes that in the work surface. If you delete that, you can go into the chases and grab a peninsula like this. And that also auto generates, just connects and adds a side panel on the side. So you can move this around the room, rotate it, see where you want it and how it fits. And it just gives you a general idea of how it will look like in the room. I'm going to go over a little bit about M-View monitor walls. These are a little bit different in terms of building them. We have two different heights, mainly 94 and 80, and we have 5 different widths. Depending on how many monitors and what the size is going to depend on what you need. We do also do custom. I'll just grab one here so it goes into the screen. This is where you'd customize the size of your monitor. You can customize it and put it here. We'll just say we have a 45-inch monitor placed right here in the middle. You can place, say, another one. It lines it up for you. You can also add a frame while you're in here. We do also have filler panels. If you go to the right here, you can click on the filler panels, and then each one will have a filler panel. Hit continue, and it auto-generates into the WELS program. If you are looking for a list price and everything that's in here, you can hit F9 on the keyboard, and that comes up with the price list and pricing with the total price at the bottom.